Hope you're doing good. I'm also doing good here. So today we'll be looking at just basic algebra. So this is typically the first question in your first paper of your BBE mathematics. Okay, yeah. So without wasting any further of time, let's just dive in. Okay, yeah. So the first question here, it's solve for x. It's 1.1.1. So here, so we have 1.1.1. So it is x squared minus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0. So essentially, this is your quadratic. So it's a trinomial. So we can just solve this by just opening two bracket. You get, and then we need to solve for this. So essentially what we do, we first need to get the factors of x squared. So it's only x and x, you get, and then we need to get the factors of 10. But whenever we find the sum, we must have a result of 3 minus 3x. So essentially the way we do it, we're going to have our factors of x here, and we're going to have factors of 10. Let's think about it. We have 1 and 10, we have 2 and 5. So if you're reading my mind, you can see that 2 and 5 is the one that's going to work. You get? So this is how we do it. So we're going to say x times 5. We're going to have 5x. And then we're going to have x times 2. We're going to have 2x. You get? And then remember, our result set needs to be minus 3x. You get, so you can see that here 5 needs to be negative and 2 needs to be positive. So therefore we have our brackets. You get, yeah. So essentially, when you have two negative signs, whenever you're solving your quadratic equation, what you should realize that the bigger number is the one that usually has the negative. Okay, yeah. So, and then to finish off, we can see that x minus 5 is equal to 0, or x plus 2 is equal to 0. And then you realize it's x is equal to 5, or x is equal to minus 2. Okay, those are solutions. This is typical and straightforward. Okay, let's look at the next question. It says that solve this 3x squared plus 6x plus 1 is equal to 0 to collect to two decimal places. As soon as you see the statement, it actually implies that you're supposed to use your quadratic formula. You get, yeah. So 1.1.2 is also easy and straightforward. So we have 3x squared plus 6x plus 1 is equal to 0. We need to apply our quadratic rule. Now remember, this stands for ax squared plus bx plus c. You must have this at the back of your mind. And then your quadratic formula is minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac. Okay? Yes, and then over 2a. So we just need to substitute. And you can see that in our case, our b is 6. So we're going to have 6 plus or minus 6 squared minus 4. A is 3 and c is 1. You get, and then all over 2 times 3. You get. And then we'll just punch our calculator to get the solution to this. You get, it's easy and straightforward. You get, so I'm gonna punch our calculator. I hope you have your calculator on your side there. Okay, I hope you have your calculator. So you're gonna have minus 6. You can start by plus or minus. At the plus or minus, you can start by putting plus, or you can start by putting minus. Minus 12 6. Okay, so the first solution is that x is equal to minus 3 plus or 6 over 3. And then the second solution So we just need to go and change the sign from plus to minus or from minus to plus. It's gonna be minus 3 plus root 6 over 3. I mean, they said correct to two decimal place, so you need to answer the question. So this one is minus 1, comma 8, 1, 6, oh, two decimal places, I'm sorry. So it's supposed to have 1, 8, 2. And then the other one is minus 0, comma 1, 8. Okay, so this is our solution. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's easy and straightforward. This is the basic concept, nothing fancy here. Okay. Hopefully it makes sense. Okay, let's just remove the first one so that we can do 1.1.3. So 1.1.3 is 2x plus 4 plus 2x is equal to 8,704. Okay, yeah. So in this case, you can see that what we're solving is actually the exponent. Okay, meaning that we need to remember our laws of exponent. So whenever you have a plus or minus like this, what you always need to do essentially, you'll find that you have to first break up like the exponents in a sense that each power must have its separate base, and then usually you take out the common factor, and then yeah, from there it just becomes easy. So let's apply that. So we're first going to break up. This word break up means, so it just separates each power to the base, and then you're going to end up with this 8704. Always ensure that the numbers are on the right. In this case, it's already there. And then we can take out our common factor, and then we're going to be left with 2 is to 4 plus 1, because we just took out here, and then you left with this. Yeah. And then from here, you can just see that, okay, it's going to be 2 is to x. What is 2 is to 4? It's 16, eh? 2 is to 4, and then we're going to add 1. So it's going to be 17. So this essentially becomes 17. And then we can divide 8704 by 17. So we end up with 512. You get, so 512 is usually 2 raised to, let's check, it's 2 raised to 8. Let's see if 8 works. No? Yes, so this is 2 raised to 9. And then if bases are the same, remember, we just always drop our exponent. Okay, yeah. So this is what was expected from us. Yeah, it's just easy stuff. Nothing complicated here, nothing too fancy. Yes. Okay. Let's try and remove this one so that we can create space to do the other questions. Okay, so now we have thus it's already in factor form, so that's why it's actually 3 marks, and then yeah, you get, so we can just simply ignore the signs and then see that x is equal to 8 or x is equal to minus 2, you get. But now remember, this is an inequality, so we require to sketch. So essentially, you can see that here, x and x, so it's actually positive. So it means that it corresponds to the positive smiley parabola, you get. And then we can just sketch the thing. So this just corresponds to our x-intercept, if you'd like to think of it there. So it's going to be minus 2. It's always the smallest on the left and the biggest on the right. So whenever it's less than 0, what you need to understand, this line is a y is equal to 0. So if we are above the line, we are greater than 0. If we are below the line, we are less than 0. If we are equal to the line, means that we are touching that line. You get? So below the line means this. If the sign is less than 0 means this. You get? And then the way you write this in mathematics, it means that it's between your x is between minus 2 and 8. Okay, easy and straightforward. It's not complicated. Okay, let's look at 1.1.5, which is also the same thing. It's not too hard. It's just basic algebra. Okay, so here we're gonna have it like this. It's 2. Okay, so the way that we deal with this question, you can see that we're solving for x, and somewhat the x is inside the root, and we have an x here. So the way that we do this question, we always do it by isolating the roots. So essentially, we just have to have the term with the roots on one side and everything else on the other side. So it's going to be 2 minus x. And then the trick to this one, you must get rid of the square root. And usually how we do it, we need to square. So we're going to square both sides. And then here we're going to end up with 9. So this cancels. So 9x plus 2. And then here we're just going to end up with this. So we can just FOIL this thing. So it becomes 4, 2 times this minus 4x plus x squared. You get? And then here we're going to have 9x squared plus 18 is equal to 4 minus 4x plus x squared. You get? So we move everything to one side. So whenever we're solving a quadratic, everything should go to one side. And you can see that we're going to have 8x squared plus 4x and then plus 12 is equal to 0. So whenever you move these terms to one side, you end up with that. You get? Yeah. I mean, you can divide by 4 here. So you're going to have 2x squared plus x plus 3. You see that? Okay. Okay, let's just remove this part because it's not part of what we are doing right now. Okay. Okay, we need to solve this. So essentially, oh no, this is negative. So I made a mistake. It's positive. Let me see. No, it's actually 14, not 12. I made a mistake here. This, if you, okay, yeah. Sorry about that. So it's gonna be 14. So 4 doesn't go to 14. Yeah. Okay, we can just take out 2 as a common factor. Means you're gonna have 4x squared plus 2x plus 7 is equal to 0. Okay, yeah. Okay. Oh no, 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 no. I see. I actually made my mistake here because I was wondering why is it not working out. So this is 9x plus 18 is equal to 4 minus 4x plus x squared. Yeah, so a mistake was here. So we're going to typically move everything to the side with an x squared. So you can see that here we actually end up with x squared. You move that side, we're gonna have minus 13x, and then we're gonna have minus 14 is equal to 0. You can see now it makes sense. Okay, so you're gonna have x minus 14 and x plus 1. Sorry about this, there's already an x here. So you can see that this is x is equal to 14, or x is equal to minus 1. But now remember, since we have a root here, we need to do our check. You get, yeah. So we need to do our check. So this is very important. There's a mark for doing this thing. Whenever there's a root, we need to do our check. I think we should just remove this. It's fine. We need to do our check because there's a mark for doing this thing. You get? So essentially, we need to take our values and just put it in our original. You get it? So if we say 14 plus 3 root uh, 16 plus 3 root 16, does it give us? Nope, it does not work. So 14 does not work. Let's try minus 1. So if we put minus 1, yes, so minus 1 does work. So we're going to say x minus 1. So it's very important that we need to make a choice. This one doesn't work, but the minus 1 does work. Okay, yeah. Sorry about like the confusion here. I just made a slight error here. You get? Yeah, but it's not a trace match. Okay, yeah. So let's look at 1.2. They say here a rectangle has sides uh, y minus 3 meters and x plus 2 meters and has a perimeter of 24 and the area of 32 square meters. And they want me to solve for x and y. So essentially, this is a simultaneous equations, and equations are created by the word problem. So it's a word problem, which is just easy. So we're given sides. So we told it's a rectangle. So first of all, the perimeter for a rectangle is just 2 length plus 2 breadth. You get that is our perimeter. You get so in this case our perimeter is 24 meters, so it's going to be 24, and then I'm going to say 2 times x, 2 times x plus 2 plus 2 times y minus 3. So this is our equation 1. And we're told that the area is 32. Remember, area is length times breadth. So in this case, we told it's 32. So it's going to be y minus 3 and x plus 2. You get, so this is our equation 2. You get, yeah. So we need to create our equation 3 by making one of this the subject of the equation. So first of all, we can divide by 2 there. So we're going to have 12 is equal to x plus 2 plus y minus 3. Do you see that? And then we can just choose. I'm going to make y subject. So it means that it's going to be 12. Okay. It's going to be 12. So it's going to be 2 minus 1. So it's going to be plus 1. And then plus x is equal to y. And you can see that y is equal to 13 plus x. So this is my equation 3. Since I changed this one, I no longer refer to it. Okay, so I have thing. So now I can just say sub 3 in 2. So I'm going to sub my equation 3 in equation 2. So we're going to have 32 is equal to y minus 3 times. Okay, no, I changed y. So I need to sub in y. So I'm going to put in this in the place of y. So it's going to be 13 plus x minus 3, x plus 2. Do you see that? So essentially, this becomes 10 plus x and x plus 2. Okay. And then you can see that's this thing. We just need to FOIL it out. So it's going to be 10x plus 20 plus x squared plus 2x, and it's 32. And then if we move everything to the side of x squared, we're going to have this is 12x, and then it's going to be minus 12 is equal to 0. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Essentially, this is what we have. Okay. Then I have 12x. Yes. Mm. Okay, now we need to solve this quadratic. Now I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I think we need to use like the quadratic equation because I feel if you move this side, it just becomes a negative. But I'm just thinking, did I make a mistake here again? Because I tend to make mistakes. Because it's very hard to get like two factors that are gonna give you this number and then they give you 12x. You get uh it's close to, let's use our quadratic equation. Mm, Minus 12 uh, plus or minus the root. Uh, so it's 144 minus 4. What is A? A is 1. C is minus 12 over 2. What is A? A is 1. Again, you're going to refer to your calculator. It's minus 12 plus, it's going to be 144 minus 4 times minus 12 over 2. So the first answer is x is minus 6 plus 4 root 3, or the other one is x minus 6 minus 4 root 3. Okay, now I need to get my y. So I just need to put this thing in my, we just need to add 13. So it's going to be 13 minus 6 plus 4 root 3 is just going to make it 7 plus 3. And then this one, or this one is going to be y is equal to 7 minus root. Uh, okay, I made a mistake here. 4 root 3, 4 root 3. Okay, supposed to be plus 4 root 3 as well. Yeah. 4 root 3. Okay, yeah. So these are our answers. Yeah. I don't know if they didn't say anything about, but these are our answers. Now, remember, this is meters. So, yeah. But X and Y is not size. They just wanted the values for X and Y. You get. Okay, then the last one. I mean,